What's good, my golden brothers and sisters? G Stature in here, and well, this video is basically about controller setup for controller players that's starting out in Tekken 8. Well, if any new players are still coming in to play this damn game, but yeah. So I know playing on controller at the beginner on this game, it's a little tricky. Like the buttons, the way they're like set up, as far as like playing normally with just your thumb, it can feel a little weird pressing square and then triangle at the same time and X and circle at the same time. So I honestly thought in my head, like, you know what, I could show newcomers a little controller setup that'll work for them, and well, if they could use it if it benefits them. If not, you can try something else, which I'll mention later in the video, and I'll show a clip of it later on. So yeah, so here is the controller setup that I suggest controller players should use that are starting out. So right here, of course, face buttons are still the same. You know, if you're on PlayStation, you know, square, triangle, X, circle, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Normal layout in Xbox. Well, I don't remember the button layouts for Xbox, but you get what I'm saying. So you keep these the same, right? For when you press square and triangle at the same time, or X and circle at the same time, what I thought of is that you should bind, I'm talking Tekken terms, 1 plus 2, bind it to whatever trigger or bumper button that you feel comfortable using. So if it's bumper, R1, L1, either or triggers, R2 and R3, not R3, R2 and L2. And so this right here, of course, for me, it would feel comfortable if I use R1 and L1, but choose whichever one, bumper, trigger, whichever. So just so you can do, the reason why I say bind it to these two is for like certain moves in a move list. Say like if you're trying to, say like if, right when you set these buttons, you gotta make sure you scroll all the way down and confirm and exit before you start scrambling your buttons. Yeah, so certain moves, it'll be a little difficult to pull off with just using your thumb on the face buttons. Well, if you got big thumbs, you can fat finger it if you want to, but I suggest not. But yeah, so certain moves like I'll go to old techniques. Certain moves like her political storm, you gotta push forward, square and triangle at the same time, and X, square and triangle again. And you know what I'm saying, it feels easier. And then all you gotta do is just spam the bumper buttons. That's all you gotta do. Just press forward. And there it goes. So yeah, that's pretty much like just to make it easier to hit or like do certain moves. So going back to the controller setup, so yeah, I would suggest bumper buttons on 1 plus 2, triangle, square, triangle, X and circle. So that's what I suggest. All these other buttons, don't even touch them. Don't even bother touching them unless you want to key charge or whatever. This is pretty much the command for key charge. You gotta press all face buttons, which who's gonna sit here and press all face buttons unless you're playing claw, or you really want to just say fuck it, create some distance and press that, by all means, whatever. Okay, so next is heat burst. Yeah, you could bind, like, all right, so I'd rather just bind a trigger or a bumper to just the heat burst command itself. Well, the heat burst right here, instead of doing instead of binding it to the actual like buttons, because sometimes you'll say if you move forward and you try to heat burst or heat smash or whatever, you put in like a forward input or any motion input right before you press the button that's binded to this, it'll overlap and you'll do something else. So I suggest just binding a button or trigger or bumper to this. That's what I recommend, because I'm gonna show an example. If you bind it to these buttons, see, I'm pushing forward, trying to hit a heat smash. You're over here scrambling through moves. You're over here doing shit that you didn't intend to do when pressing the motion inputs. So it could, it'll overlap the command for the heat burst. So you will have to press it by itself. You might accidentally trigger something else. So that's why I suggest just binding it to this. That's it. No overlapping, none of that bullshit. Straight up heat smash. Yeah, straight up heat burst, heat smash. Good, golden. See, I'll put in motion input. It still goes through. No overlapping. All right, so next is the rage arc. Okay. Yeah, like I said before, you can do like fat finger a little bit to press square and triangle to get the rage arc. The input is let me set the rage arc. Okay, so the input is down forward 1 and 2. Down forward 1 plus 2 for the rage arc, right? I would suggest just binding it to the analog stick, just so it saves you to have in the command. Because say like if you do a grab or something weird happens within the match and you end up switching sides, and then you try to you start panicking, you're not comfortable inside. Oh, well, what do I do? And then you press down, well, really pressing down back when you think it's down forward, you'll get confused. So I would starting out, I would just bind it to the analog stick button, you know what I'm saying, click, good to go, boom. That is basically it. This button layout is what I suggest for anybody that's just starting out playing Tekken. If you're not comfortable playing claw or anything like that, which is another option. Like I said, I'm gonna show a clip. So basically, claw, you just take your hand, remove it off of the handle of the controller, and pretty much have your fingers hovering over the buttons. You could use 2 fingers, you could use 3, however you feel comfortable using the face buttons with your whole hand. But I suggest just using your index finger and your middle finger to press the face buttons. So that's basically claw when it comes to fighting games. And if you don't feel comfortable using claw, I would suggest using this controller setup starting out. So yeah, that's the video. All right, my golden brothers and sisters, I'm signing out. Peace.